called us an earthworm, not the most noble evocation of an institution. It doesn't call people to the barricades, but it speaks to the basic role of tending the soil and making the state solid and strong. But the basic work gets done by these 7,000 nonprofits and by the big public agencies, and we're constantly trying to find ways to add to that soil and make it stronger.
Over the past year, during these more difficult economic times, we've been really trying to stay connected to our donors, meeting with them, talking to them, finding out how they're doing, seeing how we can help them. We've been working more with professional advisors like estate attorneys, wealth managers, financial planners to help them realize that we're here as a resource for them, to help them with when they work with their clients around charitable giving. We've started a new initiative to engage entrepreneurs in philanthropy. We've brought our donors together to talk about issues that are important to them, to learn about the issues and discuss them, which has been a great opportunity for them as well as us to hear their opinions and interests. Well, I'm an eternal optimist, so the future is always bright to me.
I think the most important thing we do is funding good work in the community, supporting the good work of nonprofits that are out there, and listening more closely to see who's in need and what they need. Very important in these times has been our openness to working differently, trying things differently. We have changed our application process. We've asked for input in different ways. We've helped the state and other nonprofits write a grant or go after resources in ways that we haven't before, because I think it's important for all of us to be open to working differently in these times. One thing I hope is that people will come to us with new ideas and new needs and what they'd like to see in terms of how we can be most helpful. And we will absolutely keep listening for that, keep asking. Because the challenges are greater than they've ever been before. The needs are greater than they've ever been before. The resources are not greater. And so we all have to work it every way we can.
The civic leadership work goes across the foundation. We have a department of one, and that's me. And that was explicit because in some ways I have no staff, and in some ways the entire staff of the foundation is engaged. Our goal is not just to identify one piece of legislation and try to shape that bill or host one meeting of legislators and business people to try to solve a problem. Our goal is identify a problem and tackle it using all of the resources we can bring to bear. We can bring to bear our charitable dollars, we can bring to bear our smart grant making, and we can bring to bear this political capital and this trust and the statewide presence we have. So really, the job of civic leadership within the foundation is to channel the extraordinary resources and perspectives of this entire institution into some areas where we really feel that we can make a difference, a positive difference in moving those issues ahead.
In my role as director of the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits, my experience with the Charitable Foundation, I can give you an example. They recently funded a report that we developed. It's a portrait of the nonprofit sector. And their partnership in developing this report and helping us promote it and get it out across the state was quite invaluable. In addition, the Charitable Foundation keeps ahead of philanthropic trends, and they've moved into some operational grant funding. I think that's incredibly important because they're making a very strong investment in the nonprofit sector and really getting behind some issues.
We at the Department of Environmental Services and in the state as a whole have made huge progress in dealing with the issues of energy and climate change in the state. And that progress is in no small part due to the support we've had from the Charitable Foundation.
Well, I think they have been an idea factory. They have been a conscience in many issues, and that's true in the court system. Lou Felstein and the board have been enormously supportive of change, and that's not easy for people, but I think they are very comfortable there and they support it and endorse it fully when they agree that that change is needed.
And a lot of the pieces we do is that way. It's trying to figure where you can make a difference. We could spend a lot of time doing things that feel good, but people bring their money here and they trust us to be smart to try and help them get some leverage. And leverage is a lot about what we do, trying to figure out where you can stretch a few dollars along our way.